Nobody wants to read sales copy all day long, but you need to influence people with your content. So how do you do that without shoving a product down your reader's throat? Let's talk about the art and the science behind writing non-promotionally. Howdy, hey folks, welcome back to the Wednesday Word. Today we're going to talk about how to stay non-promotional while still getting your message across in your writing. If you've done thought leadership for a while, you've probably seen every kind of publication you could send something to talk about a non-promotional piece. For our purposes, non-promotional means, hey, we don't want to hear about your product or service. Which makes sense if you think about what thought leadership is supposed to be about, which is leading with thoughts. Now, for a lot of copywriting teams or companies, it might seem frustrating. But at the heart of it, great long-form stuff like byline articles are not sales copy. You have other spots in your pipeline for really direct sales copy. That said, you and the content you're producing are still part of the overall sales experience. At the core of any great product or service is you're selling this idea, you're selling an experience, you're selling a vision of what could be better for your customers. And every piece of copy you're producing should forward that mission. Now, nobody wants to read sales copy all day long, but you should be influencing through your content. And that's where the art of writing non-promotionally comes into play. So, okay, how do we actually do that in the articles we're producing? Well, if you're writing for a company, writing for yourself, writing as a ghostwriter, here are a few key steps on how to actually handle the process of writing non-promotionally while still getting a really good message across. First and foremost, do not start with a sale. Typically when people are looking at starting a piece, they're coming in with a mindset of, I have to make this point to move someone down the funnel. And yes, that's partially true. Every piece of content is serving, ideally, the strategy you've laid out is part of the sales process. But if you make that the core of your pieces, people are going to sniff that out a mile away. And they're going to go engage with something that's not trying to actively sell them some kind of product or service. Instead, we need to focus on the topic that we should be talking about. If you don't really know what that topic is, or you haven't really shaped it well, then maybe you're not actually ready to write this piece. If that's the case, go back and reevaluate the purpose of that piece in the larger story you're telling as part of your content strategy. Regardless, don't start with the sale at heart, start with the idea you want to communicate. Once you have that piece done, we need to talk about scoping the issue at hand. So you've selected a topic or you have a topic or an idea in mind. Now we need to think about how that topic fits in the larger industry conversations. For example, let's say you're an AI writing tool company. Your list of features and benefits is great for later down the sales funnel. I just don't care right now. I'm trying to learn more about this space. Your role in this process at this point is to educate me as the reader. Tell me why this is so important and why I should care about any of this. So you have this issue you've identified of, hey, AI can help you write faster. Great. Think about the first order and second order effects that come from that. How is this going to change or influence the creativity that's inherent in this process? How will it help me support the business decision of writing? What's in the future for SEO, for example, as generative AI starts taking hold? These are the kinds of questions you're thinking about in the sales process, or maybe even objections you're handling. Mind those sales calls and the overall sales funnel for those really key ideas if you're stuck. But the key piece is to make it more than just about you. Once you've laid out that process, then we need to think about how to position you as the writer and the thought leader. And a really key piece of doing that is to learn how to talk through the lens of your experience. This is what differentiates a run-of-the-mill piece from something really great. It's going to be your unique take, your unique stance on what is happening with this issue or this industry. And this is stuff you know as the expert in your field, so share what you know. Share stories about your personal experience. Make it personal. Humans want to connect with other humans, and that's the real power of good thought leadership. You're humanizing these really complex ideas and making it something simple and personal and relatable. That's what captures interest from folks and leads them further down your funnel. If you're someone who's been working in AI, for instance, talk about that experience. How far has this technology come in the years you've been doing this? What surprised you the most as this industry has grown? What do you think is still missing from this? These kinds of questions are applicable to just about any industry and field. Make sure you're asking them as you develop this kind of content. Then when you actually get down to the process of writing, we need to apply more of the mindset of show, don't tell. This is pretty common writing advice. It relates to how we need to use the senses to really elicit the image and the picture of what we're trying to write, as opposed to just straight out telling people. And this is where a lot of thought leadership goes off the rail. We get so excited about wanting to tell about this industry or our product or service. Don't tell me about what you do, show me why it matters. This is where you start seeing elements of persuasive writing come into play. That's going to include logos, so you're looking at research, you're looking at supporting case studies, looking at evidence to back up whatever points you're saying. But a piece that often gets forgotten on this is the pathos side. That's going to be more of the emotional argument around it. You're someone who's lived in this industry for years, decades even. You know what really gets to the heart of people. Bring in that element of storytelling into these thought leadership articles, because that's how you're going to connect with people and resonate with them. By focusing on these elements of storytelling, you're making it not about you and your product or service. You're making it about your take and your understanding of the larger picture. And that's what's going to convince people to say, hey, they know what they're talking about. I want to go learn more. A lot of folks worry about the right call to action to put at the end of these pieces. What matters most is your ability to tell a compelling story and make people want to care. The conversions will come from this, but you have to say something that's actually interesting, that's relevant, and that speaks to the logical and emotional pain points your readers are experiencing. So there you have it, folks. Keep your company's name out of these pieces and people will come to you. It's important to stay non-promotional in the pieces that you're writing, especially for publications. They need to know that you're here to tell a story, not sell a product. And over time, it will contribute to your overall brand. So give your creative folks the space and engage your subject matter experts to create something amazing. As always, gang, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, engage with some other videos. I'll see you soon for the next Wednesday Word.